features of the SMS Gateway is the concept of an SMS flowchart, which is a representation of a conversation tree that you will engage in with your users. A conversation tree is assigned under a flowchart, and on the left here, when you log in, you'll see a list of existing flowcharts, or you can create a new flowchart. In this case, I'm going to just use this test flowchart here. Every flowchart is assigned to a particular short or long code, which is where incoming messages will be sent to, as well as outgoing messages will be sent from. So it's sort of the endpoint for all the messages we're sending. A flowchart is a conversation tree, and a conversation tree is a collection of nodes. So in it, we have a number of responses that kind of drive where this conversation is going and track on an individual user level how we're going to reply. So based on the messages I send to this phone number, I might receive different messages and different responses. So for example, if I were to edit this existing node, maybe I'll give it a name of demo1 node, and I can choose it to accept or reject any response. And then I can build, what response am I looking for here? So maybe there's a welcome. If someone sends the text message welcome, then they will receive a message such as welcome to the marketing program for joining. So now, if anyone were to message after I save this, they would receive the following reply if they text us with the message of welcome. You can also directly send these messages through the SMS Gateway, but the core function is we've built a tree now, a very basic one here that just listens for people to text us welcome, and they'll see a response. The concept of the tree is really a collection of nodes therein. So I can build many nodes and I can layer them and have complicated relationships. Nodes can have friendly names like demo node 2. I can listen for a response of test. Welcome to the test portion of this conversation. And I can submit that. I can give it a priority of 1. So the priority is sort of the order that they are sent in, the order that they're evaluated in. So if you had multiple nodes that matched the format, it would evaluate them and give it to the lowest priority first. And you can see here now, I have a message that's sort of a sub-level. So for me to receive this message, I first must reply with welcome. Each phone number is tracked in the tree, and we can kind of have a flow that kind of can spin off. So if I just build another node here, I'm going to say test 2, apply, welcome to the 3rd level of the tree. Priority 1. And you can see here it's getting deeper. It also offers drag and drop functionality, so I can drag the nodes to different levels as we see fit. But the idea here is I'm building a conversation tree that has depth, and the responses that I'm getting from the system are dependent upon what I say, and it's tracked at a phone number basis. So each person can have a different experience, and it can be tracked at that level. Another thing to note too is you can have many root nodes. So we could say this is the not welcome node, for example. And if someone says not welcome, oh, so sorry to hear that. Priority 1. So we can submit that. And now we have sort of 2 high-level nodes. And depending upon how someone messages this tree to start, the conversation can go down different paths. And we have different contexts that represent what is relevant for this user. The SMS Gateway handles these responses automatically. So unlike a tool like Adobe today, where it's very much, you can only have a very high-level, root-level responses, this allows us to get some depth, track things at a very low level. So I'm done here, so I can go ahead and hit save. And this is saved in my tree so that I can load it up later and use it as I see fit. As well, there's a number of options in the flowchart tree that we'll talk about later, but we can specify reserved words depending upon your message provider, whether it's Twilio or someone else. I can also set global keywords that aren't really part of the message tree, but are used to track just generic responses. I can determine how long someone's conversation or session is active for. I can define error messages, i.e. if you send me an invalid response, what do I say? And then there's also some testing options here.
For more information, visit us at munvo.com or email us at info@munvo.com.